not even gonna be able to think.
All right, game one started.
All right, here we
All
are.
right, I think Savjz got a pretty good matchup with the Hunter against Reynad's really fast Druid. And I think the fast Druids are a little worse against Hunter than kind of the more taunty versions.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. And I don't know if Savjz runs Unleash. I think it's kind of standard to run at least one by now, but Reynad has the Violet Teachers, so that could kind of
Mhm.
that might play into this game a little bit.
Yeah, Reynad had a pretty good start with or a decent start with his Wrath, but he has like pretty bad follow ups from now on. Like right now, oh, he's gonna Savage Word to clear Dive Juggler. Fair enough.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think even though it's not really ideal to draw your traps, you'd rather get them out with Mad Scientist. I think Freezing Trap is one of the ones that you don't mind having if you're against a Druid.
Mhm. Well, unfortunately for him, because he used Savage Word, there's no way for, like he doesn't have a keeper, so there's no way for him to clear this Huffer.
Yeah, like right now you just drop the Freezing Trap and the
Mhm.
Shredder's just yeah. I think Reynad's probably just going to be too far behind, just tempo wise. And then Lotheb into Savannah High Main
Mhm.
is yeah, it's just pretty much a fantastic start from
Mhm.
Savjz.
So he's just like snap played everything. He's like telling me in chat, it's like, oh my god, and Hansel Meccano. But I think the
Vega. Oh, Jungle Panther's not bad.
mhm. I think the play is Lotheb just locks your opponent out a bit more.
Yeah, Lotheb in the High Main is super strong.
Mhm.
If you get a Wind Fury on High Main.
Oh man,
Yeah, yeah,
he
that's
prob
rough when you have to do
he
that.
probably could, but I think if it's possible, he probably won't reveal the Enhancer Meccano.
Yeah, I just in case Reynad wasn't paying attention to something earlier.
Reynad's like dead though. Like he needs to Wrath
Yeah,
to cycle into something. I mean,
you
healing might save
rat. No,
him.
that doesn't even work.
Healing might save him, but it's not like a game-winning play. So he's looking for swipe. Nope, no swipe. So he's looking for like I don't know, a taunt. And
He's
that
looking
would
for the consent.
yeah. That's
Well,
that was the quickest game yet, right?
yeah. I mean, there was another game earlier.
Like 7 maybe. Oh, but
Yeah, but I feel like against Paladin,
uh
you kind of have the extra time usually. Oh, but yeah. Oh, he.
but here it's a really bad hand for Savjz. Like all these situational cards. The fact that
I don't think we've seen the Mystic yet from
yeah,
Savage until just
we
now.
definitely
Oh, well, we
haven't.
haven't seen his hunter. We only saw his hunter once.
Mhm. Oh wow, he saves the the dagger, um, just because he's predicting something he can Fan of Knives next turn. Wow, Reynad can get a pretty huge Van Cleef this turn. Um,
Which will probably just get Iron Beak Dowel, but I mean he doesn't
yeah.
necessarily know that that's going to happen.
Well, he could also conceal it, but that's
Yeah, but I think if you're concealing it, you don't really have a good way to. I think he might he's probably just going to prep fan and then maybe
I think
okay he's going to eviscerate.
yeah. I would say prep, eviscerate, and then Edwin. It's like a you have a pretty strong turn, but it's not YOLO. And
Okay, yeah, I like that too. I guess my initial thought was to maybe prep the Fanonize just because it's the most expensive card.
mhm.
You get to cycle it, and then you could I don't know you could maybe deadly poison down the Misha if you needed to. But I think I like this even better actually because you kind of save damage on your face and you still clear the board.
Mhm.
But yeah, Savvy just gets the owl.
Yeah, and again with the bad RNG on his cards, he gets a angry chicken from his web spinner.
Do you know if Savvy runs Houndmaster?
I'm not sure to be honest.
See a little bit of a. I have a feeling that Enhanced Mechano and the Mystic probably are in one of those
Yeah,
slots where Houndmaster would have been.
yeah, it's a very good point. Oh, and the piloted shredder, so I think definitely know how master.
Yeah.
The Unleash the Hounds is going to be so dead in this matchup. Um, the one reason that one of the reasons that Miracle Rogue was originally so favored against Hunter was because Buzzard Unleashed back then was so strong, but it was completely useless against Miracle Rogues because Miracle Rogues only had 1 or 2 minions on board at any given time, usually.
Yeah, so you essentially just had 4 dead cards against them, and then even Savannah Highmanes were like, even if the Miracle Rogue doesn't have sap that turn, they might not even play the high main just because if you play a high main as a hunter and it gets sapped, you might just lose the game on the spot, depending on, obviously it depends on the board state and whatnot, but now with Undertaker in the game, I don't know, I think these hunter decks kind of just put on a little bit too much pressure too quickly for the Miracle Rogues.
You know, if like the Auctioneer weren't nerfed and were for 5 mana, Reynad could just win the game right now with Auctioneer, Coin, Backstab, Conceal.
Yep, but now he has to wait a turn.
Now he has to wait a turn to win the game.
Oh, but it might be too late by then. I don't think so. I don't know. So his hand is not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we might see the Rogue pick up a win here.
You sound so surprised.
Oh, I'm all right with giving the Rogue a win. We haven't seen it get one yet. It's pretty good.
I mean,
for Reynad.
Yeah. But yeah, this was like probably the best like shredder drop that Savjz has gotten like the entire day. Like, and it was fairly average.
It's not even that good.
Yeah.
I'd still say it's below average. I think you can generally expect a 3-2 or a 2-3 from a shredder. Okay, Creeper just throwing down the Mystic.
Oh no.
I think a lot of people are expecting Fatigue Mage and Freeze Mage type decks. I think just because I've seen a few people bring Kezian Mystic, and I've even seen some people in the ESL. One of the players brought a Mystic, and I think it's just like I think in a band format, Freeze Mage and Fatigue Mage are just such strong decks.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I think people might be anticipating them. But anyways,
it's exactly like Harrison Jones. Basically, it's just good against a few decks, and like still not terrible against some other decks.
Mm-hmm.
So
what is Reynad thinking about right now?
Yeah, like the turn seems fairly clear to me. Maybe he's playing around Unleash the Hounds. He could potentially play around that. He could also play around Houndmaster by just killing the Haunted Creeper now. But I think you definitely want to conceal first before attacking. Okay, yeah. So there we go.
Okay. It like lagged a little bit there.
Alchemist, is there like a train going past your?
Yeah, I live right by an airport. I think a plane just literally flew over my house. Like,
okay, well,
reach up and touch it.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good draw from Savjz. Low thug.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, it's probably the best draw because when when your opponent drops an auctioneer, that's pretty much the best response. Sorry, people in the chat really don't like the plane. All right, I'll try and catch it and mute my microphone this time. I didn't know it was gonna be. I didn't know it was gonna be that loud.
Okay, so yeah, this is Savjz is actually like pretty close to lethal.
Yeah, 7 mana Shiv.
He had to. Reynad actually had to use a. Oh wow.
Second bow.
Second bow. Like Reynad was in such a like. It looked like he was in such a good position.
Mm-hmm. But I think he's gonna need some type of shadow step on Earthen Ring. Oh, there's a shadow step.
Oh, there's a shadow step. Yeah. Back when like Miracle was a thing, like shadow stepping Earthen Ring Farseer was one of the key plays you could do against Hunter. So I'm kind of glad we get to see it again.
The thing is, I don't even know if it's going to be good enough just because that second bow is just going to put on so much damage. And the thing is, like, Reynad isn't really. Savjz is still at 28, and Reynad really doesn't have
Mhm.
any pressure on the board, like, no ways to kill him quickly. But I don't know, I guess we'll see. Maybe if he picks up his second. I know he runs 2 Shadow Steps. We saw a second one. So maybe.
Is he afraid of dying next turn? Yeah, I guess he is. He's gonna Shadow Step and heal again. I guess
Yeah, because
he could have
kill
also
command kills you, and you
yeah.
haven't seen one yet.
Oh, Doctor Boom! What a great draw.
Yeah, it's actually pretty ideal here too, because you don't even care if you can equip the bow. Unleash does nothing, and this allows you to hero power and drop
Oh,
the
but
Doctor Boom.
I
I don't
guess
know if it's enough.
that's okay. I guess he has to Azure top deck sap. Okay, there we go.
Sap. Oh.
Prep sap. Okay, prep sap and then heal up.
But then he's just gonna replay Doctor Boom again.
Is
Or
he?
actually,
Is
he still
is
might be dead.
is Unleash the Hounds lethal?
That's what I was just thinking. You have 3,
So
6,
so
7,
he's
8,
at
9, 10.
8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's dead.
that's the game's over. Oh,
Ah, man, I thought. Oh, you trade. It's still a game, right? Four
yeah,
cards.
for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even if
I really
healed.
thought we were gonna see the Miracle Rogue win a game. I
Yeah,
really did. I thought that was gonna be the one.
that was actually really surprising. This just the BM. He's showing that Savjz is just showing that like he could have won even if the bomb killed one of his minions.
Hmm.
But yeah, I really thought that the Miracle Rogue was going to win that. He looked like in a decent position, especially because Savjz drew so poorly in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and
In WCA.
twice.
Yeah.
I've played
All
him
right,
twice.
game
Yeah,
has started. We
okay.
we missed the Mana Worm turn 1, but Knife Juggler comes out turn 2.
That's a really awkward hand. I don't know Savij's split on traps exactly or how many he runs,
Uh,
but the whole point of Mad Scientist is that you don't draw your traps.
yeah.
And he has Mad Scientist and his traps. Most Hunter lists I've seen only play 2 to 3, so there might be one trap left in this deck for him to get, but after that, these Mad Scientists are pretty much
Yeah.
dead, and
I don't think I've seen anyone play 3 traps these days.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if someone played 3, but I think 4 is you're pretty much never going to see that anymore. Hey, Reynad actually has a pretty nice start.
Yeah. That's somewhat of an understatement. Yeah, Reynad goes for face because there's no way to really punish that play. Like if he draws an Eagle Horn bow, Savjz that is, then he'll just be able to kill one of the other 2/3s. Fortunately though, there is like this explosive trap, and there is an Unleash the Hound, so it's fairly possible for Savjz to get back into this game, even though it looks so bad now.
Oh wow, Blast Mage.
Like the explosive trap and the Unleash the Hounds together, it's like it basically kills all these minions straight up.
Yeah, I mean Water Elemental though is going to be pretty nice. Reynad still has stuff, I guess. Like he's not all in on this board by any means.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he'll. Do you think he's gonna kill off the scientists now, or just still try to ignore it?
I think he's probably going to kill it off just because he has Unleash the Hounds in mind. And I think the decision right now is which one of the 2 creatures does he value less. And I think you value the Mana Worm less because you do value freezing the opponent's face to deny weapons.
Yep.
And
then
I think the Water Elemental is going to come down.
Okay, yeah, I like this.
Okay, so Undertaker, Unleash the Hounds. Alright. See, this is the disadvantage of playing Water Elemental instead of like a Pilot Shredder or a Mechanical Yeti. And it's that, Like, you can't activate the Blast Mage right now. Okay, let's like, see
I
the
think
RG on this. Oh, Assassin's Blade, that's really good. Versus, is that like a Glaive Zuka?
maybe it's like a yeah something like that. Maybe it's a 2/2
Okay,
weapon.
yeah,
Basically,
it's a Glaive Zuka. So yeah,
this is why he plays Water Elemental, by the way. I think
mm,
because you give your opponent a weapon and you just never let them attack with it. Think about it. You play 2 Water Elementals and 2 Snow Chuggers.
yeah, that's actually pretty smart.
It's that's some good synergy right there.
Mm, definitely. Unfortunately, you kind of do. You're kind of forced to attack this turn. You let your hunter attack this turn. Imagine if like Reynad gave him a Gorehowl, and like, the Gorehowl just like attacked to face or something.
I'm sure stuff like that has happened before.
Mm. Yeah, I'm sure like during testing that situation has come up. I think you just Fire Blast the Hound.
Yeah, I would.
I think he definitely. Okay, so he's gonna trade into it and then play the Cogmaster, I guess.
Well, I mean, he did already see Explosive Trap and an Unleash, so it's probably safe to do this if he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's. Oh, are we going to see a second Blingtron later?
Yeah.
He's really thinking about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reynad might just get 2 weapons. Okay, so he's going to ignore the Hound. I guess the Hound doesn't do too much.
Savjz is just snap playing high main here.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really have another good option.
You know, I think one of the reasons Savjz is playing Kazan Mystic in this deck is because he's he knows like a lot of his opponents like Reynad and Kalento do favor the Fatigue Mage. And he might predict that they will bring Fatigue Mage. And again, like it might be why he isn't bringing Fatigue Mage himself. He thinks it's too predictable that he will bring Fatigue Mage to this game. But
yeah, and I mean, and it's still fine if you play. Like you could still run into a hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like hunter's uncommon to see, so could probably there for the mages, but could also be decent against the hunters.
But it's gonna actually be
the mirror match. Well, sort of a mirror match.
They both have pretty
an
good
aggro
starts.
mage mirror match, but
unfortunately for Savjz, he really wishes he was going second. Because he could have been able to get the 2-drop and then another 2-drop and then curve out into a 3-drop.
Yeah, he would have had a much better curve. I guess, I don't know, Reynad actually has some options here.
Does he want the Cogmaster or the Mech Warper out, basically? And I was wrong before, like, Savjz apparently does play Frostbolts. He didn't draw one before. The reason I said Savjz might not play Frostbolts is because Kit Kats kind of ran like a somewhat similar version in ESL, and his deck actually didn't play Frostbolt.
Yeah, we still haven't seen any fireballs, so I'm pretty sure I'm still going to stick to him having no fireballs. Okay, so he just Okay. So he's just kind of in not the greatest start for Savjz, but it's not terrible either.
Oh man, this first of all, this Tinkertown Technician got a spare part, which is pretty rare for Reynad. I think Reynad's been like 0 for 3 on Tinkertowns. He's always played them as just vanilla 3/3s. But this this Goblin Blast Mage could get a lot of value.
Yep, the 4th time is the charm for Reynad here. Well, now he doesn't have a mech, so yeah, because the Tinkertown itself isn't a mech. I don't believe so. He's gonna need to drop this Harvest Golem, and then do you?
Yeah.
What do you do for the Shade? Because you can freeze it, but then you're basically letting it grow a turn, or you could just trade into it, but then you let your guy get hero powered. I guess Reynad is just, I think with Lotheb and Blast Mage and Fireball, Reynad is just going to go for the kill you before I let you do anything. You know, let you catch back up.
Okay, so he just really wants the secret out. Is essentially what he's saying.
Sludge Belcher kind of ruins Reynad's plans, I think.
Yeah,
I think Reynad was going to kind of go all in and then just finish off with Loatheb Fireball. And this basically puts an end to all of that.
Okay, so Reynad is going to trade, I think, just to guarantee that the Blast Mage doesn't overkill the Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, I think that's pretty smart.
Okay, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, he gives his opponent a Blast Mage as well. He can't really help that. And I think the Tinker Technician is going to get time rewinded back to his hand because it's just so vulnerable right now. It does force his opponent to use 2 more mana to kill it. Okay, so yeah, he's going to do that play instead. He's going for the tempo play.
I don't know. I think Savjz is slowly kind of starting to turn this around a little bit, but it's hard to say who's gonna. It's still too early to say if he'll be able to do it or not.
Yeah.
Oh man, we might see some Dr. Boom buffing the Undertaker next turn.
Oh yeah, that'll be pretty great. Yeah, I think yeah, this board looks really bad for Reynad right now. A 5-2, a 2-3 Undertaker, and a 2-1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just a Sludge Belcher, because if that Sludge Belcher didn't come down, then Reynad could have had a lot of face damage going in there instead of having to mess around. Like, that Sludge Belcher prevented a lot of damage, and Reynad's sitting on a Fireball right now, so that I think that Sludge Belcher basically won the game. And here is 4 out of 5 Tinkertown's not getting a spare part if he decides to play it.
Yeah, that's the problem with not playing like a pure mech deck. Like he's playing Water Elementals instead of Piloted Treaders or Yetis, and he's playing Mana Worms instead of more 1-drops.
The Undertaker dream.
Yeah, that is the dream.
Yeah, who said drawing Undertaker past turn 1 was bad? Yeah. It's still good. Look, it's still a Yeti. You draw turn 7. You draw turn 6. It's still a Yeti.
So
yeah, I think Reynad's in a lot of trouble here now.
Yeah, so you just polymorph and ping, and you're just playing. You're going to be playing catch up the entire game.
Yeah, you know what else I just noticed? Reynad's playing Mana Worm and Cogmaster, and I think most people that play mech decks generally only choose one or the other, not both.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm actually kind of curious as like what he's actually cutting for some of these.
Yeah, I guess like the thing is most mech decks run 6 4-drops. They run both the Piloted Treader, the Mechanical Yeti. Oh, that's actually good.
That's probably the first good card he got off it.
Yeah, but as I was saying, like most mech decks run both the 4-drop mechs and the Blast Mage, and then we only see Reynad running 5 4-drops, 5 additional 4-drops. He runs the Water Elementals, the Blast Mages, and then he runs 1 Polymorph, which mech decks typically don't do. That's pretty funny. Like the Trade Prince Galawix is kind of acting like an Antonidas if he plays it here.
Yeah. Well, Savjz just kind of has to trade off some stuff, right? Because if he just leaves the board, then he could die to Fireball shenanigans.
I just want to see this Trade Prince.
Look at this Undertaker, though.
Oh my god.
What is it now?
6-4.
6-4.
It's balanced.
So yeah, just he was playing around BGH there a little bit, but yeah, decides to trade it off now. Doesn't want it to get too big.
And let's see how much damage is on the board right now. 16, 17, 18. So there's 18 damage on the board. Not enough for lethal next turn, but is it honestly worth playing? Okay, Reynad decides no.
Savjz could ping his own bomb and try to end it right there.
That's true.
Okay, well,
Well,
yeah, that was a pretty quick series.
I guess